The 24th of March, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Shavuot with Rashi.
Excellent.
Okay. Oopsie, that's how I'm. Oh. Okay. I can be seen.
Yes.
And I can be heard.
Yes.
Good. And we will start again.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah, we got lost in the middle of in the Rashi there yesterday.
Yeah,
Zoom,
yeah. The
Zoom
thing
ended
ended,
on.
yeah.
Okay. Can't remember exactly. Omar loy Moshe Betzel Kelo Yisa. You were in the, in other words, the name Betzalel can be read Betzel Kale, in the shadow of God. Ki bevadai kach tzivo li HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's for sure how HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded me. V'chein osa hamishkon tchila v'achar kach osa kelim. That's indeed how he constructed. First was the construction of the walls, and then was the construction of the vessels, more accurately, the furniture. All these things, the Oron, the menorah, and the shulchan, and the golden altar, yeah, well, and similarly the outside, the copper altar as well, these were all considered like furniture of the Mishkan, not so much vessels like utensils of the Mishkan, they were the furniture of the Mishkan. Okay, by the way, I once had a very nice chat, I think I mentioned this in previous years. What was the whole, shall we say, discussion between Moshe and Bezalel? Why was it that Moshe Rabbeinu originally told Bezalel first make the kalim and then make the walls, make the construction of the building? And Bezalel says, no, that's not the way you do things. You do it the other way around. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, you know, you're right. And this is indeed what Hashem had told me. I mean, if this is what Hashem had told him, so why is he telling him the other way around? So I once had a very nice explanation to this, and as follows. Basically, in society, right, you have two types of buildings. You have buildings which are like used for a certain purpose, like a factory or an office or a store, whatever, where the building is built to suit the needs of what it is used for. For instance, you build a factory. So if you're going to build, if you can construct cars there, you're going to manufacture cars there. So then the type of building you're going to need is pretty different than if you're going to use it for making watches. Right? Because it's totally different machinery, so therefore it needs a different type of building. So in that, such a kind of building, like a factory or something like that, or a workshop, the building is built according to the vessels or the utensils you're going to use inside that store. So you first obviously have to know what kind of utensils are you using there. Then afterwards, you're going to construct the walls appropriate to the utensils used there. However, let's say when you build a house, let's say, or other places for somebody to live in, people to live, the main purpose of the four walls is to house the people. Now, it happens to be once the people are there, they're going to need certain kind of, they're going to need beds, they're going to need table, they're going to need chairs, they're going to need a kitchen, they're going to need a bathroom, etc. But the main purpose of the walls are to house the people. Once the people are there, then they're going to need certain types of furniture, they're going to need certain types of utensils. So this was the discussion between Moshe and Bezalel. What was the purpose of the Mishkan? So Moshe Rabbeinu said first and foremost, the purpose of the Mishkan is a place where the Jewish people can serve Hashem. They can bring sacrifices, whatever needs to be done, like they have a shulchan, to have a bread, to bring the showbread, to offer incense, to have a menorah there. But they're all primarily it's a house of service to Hashem. So if it's a house of service to Hashem, you first primarily got to know what are the tools of service. And then according to those tools, well, we have those tools. So therefore we have to house those tools within a, let's call it a tabernacle or whatever you want to call it, within a building that is purpose-built, built for the purpose of housing these vessels which are used for serving Hashem. And that's how Moshe Rabbeinu considered the Mishkan first and foremost is a place to worship, to serve Hashem. Bezalel said, no, the primary purpose of the Mishkan is that the Shekhinah should reside there. Now, I don't mean that Hashem lives there, that's because Hashem doesn't need a place to live. The whole world is his, the Gemara says, Kodesh Baruch Hu Mekomo Shel Olam, Ve'ein ha'olam Mekomo, which means Kodesh Baruch Hu is outside this world. It means the Kodesh Baruch Hu is not corporeal, he's not limited by the parameters of creation. He himself created the world. So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here and there, up, down, all around. Right? He's here, there, and everywhere. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not limited. It doesn't need that means HaKadosh Baruch Hu is living in the Mishkan. But what it means when the Shekhinah resides in the Mishkan, it means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows his presence to be felt in a much stronger form than anywhere else. That's what it means what a Mishkan is. But upon him, Bezalel held that first and foremost, the purpose of the Mishkan is that's where the Shekhinah should be felt. This is where the Shekhinah is. Right? What's the thing? V'asuli mikdash v'shochanti b'soicha. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu may dwell there, which means HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Shekhinah should be felt and realized there in the mikdash, much more there than anywhere else. So said Bezalel, first and foremost, the Mishkan is a place where Kodesh Baruch Hu, his Shekhinah resides. So therefore, that's how you have to think. First, you build the construction. There should be a place for where the Shekhinah can be. And because the Shekhinah is there, therefore, that's why we serve Hashem there, because that's the most ideal place to serve Hashem, because the Shekhinah is there, not the other way around. Not the first, that primarily it's a place for serving Hashem. And because Klal Yisrael serve Hashem, that's why the Shekhinah comes there. It's the other way around. That's what Bezalel was saying. First and foremost, it's a place where the Shekhinah resides. Therefore, we've got to build a construction, the four walls where the Shekhinah will be. Once we know that the Shekhinah is going to be there, then we have to build the tools, build the vessels that are suitable for serving Hashem, who is residing. His Shekhinah is present in this building. So therefore, that's why Bezalel said, first build the walls, that the Shekhinah will come to reside in the Mishkan, and then afterwards build the Kalim that we can serve Hashem there. So that was the idea over here. So it was more of a conceptual difference of opinion rather than the actual difference of opinion on how the actual Mishkan should be built. Okay, let's continue. Meir, Pasuk Chav Dalet, 24. Actually, we have to read
No.
Pasuk Chav Gimel. We didn't. There's no Rashi on that, but let's read Pasuk Chav Gimel.
I have a question.
Okay.
It says that Hashem says, build me a Mishkan and I will dwell among you.
Mm-hmm.
And the drasha goes, it doesn't say I will dwell in it, I will dwell in you, meaning that Hashem will dwell in the Jewish people. So from that drasha, my understanding was that because we are taking these actions, we are causing the Shekhinah to dwell among us, which seems to be the opposite of what you're saying.
I don't know why it's the opposite, but the idea is as follows. Some say it was because of the Chet HaEgel, because of the sin of the golden calf. Some say it's not connected with that. But even though Hashem is everywhere, his presence is not felt everywhere. Right? Sometimes, unfortunately, the forces of evil in the world are stronger in certain places. Right? You go to wherever, I'm not going to necessarily mention examples. There are certain places where one goes there, one does not feel the presence of Hashem Bichlal. Therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed us, it's really for our sake, more than HaKadosh Baruch Hu's sake, for our sake, in order that we can have a place where we can almost tangibly feel the presence of Hashem. So Hashem said, I want you to build a Mishkan. And then Kaviyachal, HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts a strong charge of divine presence in that place so that anybody who would walk into the Mishkan would say, wow, there's a God. He could feel it. He could feel the presence of a divine being who was much more than he could feel it anywhere else in the world. That was the idea of a Mishkan. So by each person, by any person coming there, what was the whole purpose? Why does HaKadosh Baruch Hu need to make such a place? Is in order that the whole idea is that a person should really has a responsibility and a obligation to feel Hashem's presence wherever he is. Shivisi Hashem lenegdi somit. Person has to feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there wherever he may be. But unfortunately, a person can go about his daily life and busy himself with mundane actions, and he won't necessarily be able to materialize that feeling of knowing that Hashem is there. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe, build a Mishkan, or later on to build a Beis HaMikdash, that anybody who comes there will kind of I'll give a supercharge of my presence being felt there, that anybody will say, wow, Hashem is here. Hashem is a real being. Hashem exists. And this, in a way, through going through such an experience of realization that there is Hashem in the world, this gave a person an impetus and a charge, shall we call it, that wherever he went around his daily business, he would remember that experience which he had, and this would give him an impetus to be able to realize that Hashem is there wherever he is. And sometimes, we have an obligation to go 3 times a year to see to the Beis HaMikdash. At a time when there was only a Mishkan to the Mishkan. The idea was that this would give us a charge to recharge our spiritual batteries, have this realization that Hashem is there. And that was the purpose of the Mishkan. Does that answer your question?
No, not completely. Because it still doesn't answer why does Hashem say in you and not in it? If you're saying that Hashem's presence dwelled in the Mishkan, then it should have said in it.
But the purpose is that Kosh Baruch Hu doesn't, as far as he himself is concerned, doesn't need a place so that his existence is felt to a so stronger extent. It's for our purpose. It's for us, for our sake, that we should constantly have a realization that Hashem is there. That Hashem should dwell in us. That we should feel the existence and presence of Hashem wherever we may go. And in order to do that, Kosh Baruch Hu had to make a place where his presence is felt that much stronger that a person could go on occasions to that place, i.e. the Mishkan, and to go through this tremendously spiritually uplifting experience of realization Hashem is really is existent, and Hashem is there, and because he has a realization that Hashem is there, this will carry him through forever, how long he needed till the next time he needed a spiritual uplift, to have again this boost in this realization that Hashem is here, there, and everywhere. So it was for our purpose, in order that Hashem should dwell among us. Okay?
I hear you.
Okay, let's go on. Pasuk Chav Gimel.
Okay, V'ito Oholiav ben Achisamach l'Matedan Charash v'Choshev v'Rokem Batchelet v'Argaman uV'Tolaat Hashani uVashesh. Okay, so with him was Oholiav ben Achisamach from the tribe of Dan. It's a carver and an artist and an embroiderer with the turquoise wool and the purple wool and the scarlet wool. Oh, did I do that? Okay. And the linen, and with linen. Kaf Daled. Kol hazahav ha'asui le'melacha b'chol melechet hakodesh v'yihi b'hav hatanufa tesha v'esrim kikar u'shiva me'ot u'shloshim shekel b'shekel hakodesh. Okay, so all the gold that was for the work, for all the labor of the sanctuary, okay, he offered up gold, 29 kikar, and 730 shekel in the shekel of the sanctuary.
The shekel of the holy type of shekel.
Holy type of shekel.
Which means to have a kind of shekel used for holy purposes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so it says, let's see, 24, kikar, shishi maneh. So kikar is 60 maneh. Umaneh shel kodesh kafur haya. Maneh of the sanctuary was double the regular one.
Right.
Hare hakikar me'av esri mana. Hare, so see that the kikar was 120 maneh. Comment says twice the standard kikar. Okay. V'hamaneh esrim v'chamisha silaim. And the maneh is 25 silaim. Hare kikar shel kodesh.
20 by 25.
Yeah, the maneh is 25, right? Okay.
Two,
Hare
3,000.
kikar shel kodesh shloshet alafim shekalim. So now the kikar of the sanctuary, of sanctity, not sanctuary, is 300,000 shekalim. Wow. Oh yeah, shloshet.
People should pay this shloishes alofim shkolim, right?
Right.
Therefore, you have so it's 3,000 shekel. So 29 times 3,000 is 87,000 shekel.
Wow.
Weight of, in gold. Now I'm not sure how much a shekel of gold is worth, but there's a lot of gold. Okay.
Right.
Therefore, now Rashi points out, "Lefikach mona beprutut kol hashkolim shepchusim." Yeah, carry on.
Okay. Lefikach manet bepurotrot kol hashkalim shepechutim b'minyanam mishloshet alafim. So therefore, this manez to count individually
Enumerates.
okay, all the sums of the shekalim, which are less than the total than 3,000. Huh. She'ain megi'in likabar. Kikar, sorry. Okay. Because they do not add up to a kikar.
In other words, anything less than a kikar is mentioned in individual numbers of shkolim. So the amount of shkolim which were less than 3,000 are mentioned as shkolim because they don't come up to a kikar. That's why it says 29,730. So according to Rashi, then if it was up to 2,999, it would have also mentioned them separately. It happened to be that there were not 2,999, but only 730 individual shkolim. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. Pasuk 26.
26. Let's see. That's Kaf Vov. Deka La Gul
Hello.
Less.
עוד 10 דקות, אני באמצע שיעור עכשיו, אוקיי? עוד 10 דקות. כן. אוקיי? Sorry? Continue, please.
Machatzit HaShekel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
B'shekel HaKodesh L'chol HaOver Al HaPikudim Miben Esrim Shana Vamala L'Shesh Me'os Elef Ushloshes Alafim Vacha Mesh Me'os Vacha Mishim. Vachamishim. Okay, so let's see. 26 is a beka for every head, a half shekel in the shekel of the sanctuary for everyone who passed the counters from 20 years of age and up for the 603,550. So
What do you call
Rashi,
it? What word? 1 second. What word did you translate as counters?
I'm sorry, what?
What word did you use there? Counters?
Counters, let's see.
Al-Hapkudim. Yeah?
The counter, who passed the counters.
The counted ones, not the counters, the counted ones. Okay?
Let's see. Hapkudim.
Right.
That's the word we're translating as the counted ones?
Yes, Pkudim are the counted ones, correct.
I see. Okay. Becca. Hu Shem Mishkal Shel Machatzis Hashekel. It is a term for the weight of half a shekel. A becca is a half a shekel. V'sheish me'os elef v'gomer. Kach hayu Yisrael. Such were Israel, meaning this is the number of Jews that there were there. V'chein, I'm sorry, v'chach Allah min yanam achar shehu kam ha-mishkan. And their number amounted to this too after the Mishkan was erected.
Right.
Misaper vayedavar. In the census taken in the book of
B'Sefer Bamidbar, or Bamidbar, if you really want to do it.
Midbar.
Right.
The Af Atah, now also Benid Vas Ha Mishkan. At the contribution towards the Mishkan, Kach Hayu, they were such in number. Uminyan Chatzae Hashkalim. The total of half shkalim, shel shesh me'os elef, of 600,000, ole me'as kikar, comes to 100 kikar. Kol echad shel shloshes alafim shekalim, of 3,000 shkalim each. Each kikar was 3,000 shkalim. Ketzad. How so? Shesh me'os elef chatzain hare. Pain. Me'os elef shalemim. 600,000 half shkalim are 300,000 whole shkalim. Array me'as kikar. This is 100 kikar. והשלושת אלפים וחמש מאות וחמישים חצאים, 3,550 half shkalim, olim elef ushva, meos v'chamisha v'shiv'im shkalim, come to 1,775 shkalim.
Means they're taking 3,550 half shkolim comes to 1,775 full shkolim. So that's how you get. So from the 600,000 people, each one gave their, so there was 600,000 half shkolim came to 3,000 full shkolim. And we mentioned before that every 3,000 shkolim is a kikar. So 300,000 shkolim came to 100 kikar. That's what basically Rashi is explaining. So you got 100 kikar was for the 600,000 half shkolim, and then you're left over with another 3,550 half shkolim, and that came to 1,775 half shkolim, full shkolim, sorry. Okay, and that's what's written in Pasuk 28. You're left with 1,775 shkolim. That's what you use for the other purposes. Okay?
That's good. Thank you, Rabbi.
All right, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bezat Hashem.
Okay, very good. Be well.